on leave, the decision you make to book yourself for the purposes of doing this, why did you not assign it to somebody in your team who was equally capable of assisting? Why did it have to be you?
Commissioner, it's not every day that you get an opportunity to participate in an operation where you're stopping or you're inspecting a container that's suspected to contain drugs. It's something that, for me, it was something that was worth going to work for, to obviously check this information out.
My difficulty with that is that if you look at your entry, at this point, all you knew that it was 27 kilograms,
yes.
Just one bag. So it was not something that was so significant that you needed to break away from your leave and be the one who attends. Even a junior officer or somebody in your team who is capable of attending a bust of 27 kilograms could have done that. We subsequently learned that it was more, but
yes.
At the time when you took the decision, you were told that it's 27 kilograms.
Okay.
So I don't understand why it was so important for you to say, I'm on leave, but I will participate.
Okay. I've got a response, Commissioner. We only became aware of the number that Captain Duma, at that stage, Captain Duma, the number of kilos that he suspected was only relayed to us when we reached Isipingo and did a briefing prior to proceeding towards CHC. We proceeded to Isipingo area where my two members, together with myself, met with Captain Duma. It's only then that he told us it was 27 kilograms, Commissioner.
Yeah, but you keep changing that, to fit with the timeline. I had understood that when they called you, you were at home, they gave you this information, they came to pick you up. Now you are saying you only found out when you arrived at the depot that it was 27 kilograms.
Not the depot, Commissioner. Prior to the depot, maybe it's here in my statement somewhere. I'll look at it. I'll tell you which paragraph.
Paragraph 13.
Paragraph 13. We met with Captain Duma in the Isipingo area. He informed us that there were alleged to be 27 pieces of cocaine in a container number, and I go on to name the container. So.
Okay. So can I please ask a slightly different question? I understood you to say earlier that your commander was, I think, Colonel Dlomo.
Yes.
So why do you speak to Nuswa instead of your immediate commander that you are booking onto duty?
Okay. Commissioner, I'm going to try and say this with no disrespect to the Colonel Dlomo. Colonel Dlomo had come back on a contract to work within the SAPS. It's those members that went off at 60, and then there was an opportunity to come back on a contract. And the Colonel was not very much au fait with operational matters or anything of that nature. It's by virtue of her rank and seniority that she was acting unit commander. And at that stage, they were rotating maybe on a 2-week basis. I can't recall, but there was not somebody placed there permanently or for a longer duration that now you could engage with and keep them posted on your developments. So it was wrong. I should have contacted her, but she was not one of those colonels that was hands-on with operations or anything of that nature. It was understood that anything of operational nature would be discussed with our brigadier, or he would be the one to give you guidance or whatever you needed. Thank you.
Except here, according to you, you didn't speak to Colonel Nuswa. You sent Mpangasi, Warrant Officer Mpangasi, to do that. So you're not discussing anything operational with Nuswa.
Yes.
You actually just sent somebody to say, just brief him or whatever, that I'm coming on to duty. So that can't be, what you've just said now can't explain why you skip your immediate commander. And remember that in your earlier evidence you said you must inform your immediate commander. So Nuswa is not your immediate commander. still the question is, why do you not comply with the requirement that if you are signing on back to duty in these circumstances, you speak to your commander, you inform your commander? That's, if you would answer that first, actually.
Yes. Commissioner, I've got no valid reason for not doing so. It was an error on my part.
Okay. And even with Nuswa, you don't speak to him. You get a warrant officer, someone much junior to you, that you get him to be the one that tells that senior person, Nuswa, that you are coming back on duty instead of you reporting yourself to be back on duty. Can you just explain, because it is an anomaly?
Yes.
Why do you behave that way?
Commissioner, initially when Pangase told me he's going to brief the brigadier, I assumed he's going personally to him to brief him. And I know in the mornings is the time that our brigadier normally is engaged with whatever duties he does. But that being said, I thought Pangase was going to have a one-on-one and inform him what's happening. But even though it's not stated in my statement, the brigadier did remind me that I did call him, you know, even prior to when I first allude to in my statement, where I say that was at Isipingo parking area that I called him. And
That's not my question. My question is, when you send Mpangase to brief Nuswa that you are coming back on duty, why do you send Mpangase? You have his number. You have Nuswa's number,
Yes.
I must assume.
yes,
The requirement, as you explain it, is you tell your commander, right? We've established you don't tell your commander. You speak to somebody else who is above your commander. But the second question that I'm asking you now is, well, why do you not speak to Nuswa yourself to report yourself back on duty? Because you're reporting back on
yes,
duty,
yes.
right? Why do you not do that?
I can't give you an answer, Commissioner, but if Pangase, he did give me feedback that the brigadier said it's okay. But if
Maybe he lied.
Yeah.
My concern is not what Mpangase said to you.
Yeah.
My concern is to get a satisfactory explanation for this obvious irregularity. It's an obvious irregularity. You are on leave, one. So the context matters. You are on leave. You get a call to be told there are these drugs. You don't speak to your commander to say, I'm signing on to duty. You don't speak to your commander, you skip your commander. You speak to Nuswa that eventually there are problems, his involvement with this eventually. But you don't speak to your commander. You send a warrant officer, someone junior to you, to speak to Nuswa. You knew he was not going to talk to your commander. You send him to speak. When he says, I'll speak to the brigadier, you say, you knew he was going to speak to Nuswa because your commander was on and off, and it was known that you speak to Nuswa about matters operational. So we know you never were under any impression that Mpangase was going to speak to your commander. You knew he's going to speak to Nuswa. And all I'm asking you is, why do you not call Nuswa yourself? Now that you've decided the person to speak to is Nuswa, not Lomo, why do you not call him yourself?
I've got no response to that, Commissioner. I should have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Baloyi.
On that,
Oh, yes, Chair.
thank you. On the reason that you give about your immediate commander, which is that she was not involved in operational matters, I will not accept that at face value. You are on leave, and all that you needed to do was to report that I'm coming back. I'm no longer going to be on leave just for this limited period. I see nothing operational in that. That's admin. I see you nodding your head, so you agree with me. That's pure admin.
Yes.
So basically, you have not responded to Commissioner Baloyi's question.
Yes, Chair. I should have. It was an error on my part. I should have.
So you accept that you did not do what you had to do, and you basically had no reason for not doing it. This thing about operational simply does not apply.
Yes. I concede. Chair.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. So now we know that you and Warrant Officer Mpangase are now aware of this potential operation, and you decide to attend to the scene, correct?
Yes, correct.
Would I be correct to say, technically, the DPCI operation has started, or not yet?
At which point, Commissioner?
Once you decide you are going to CHC depot, to follow up on the information given by Captain Duma of Crime Intelligence?
For me, I would say once I was fetched by my members, it would have commenced. For me, that's when my duty would have commenced.
No, not duty. I want to know, when does the
Operation.
operation, in your understanding?
Yes, in my understanding, the operation is actually at the scene where you're operationalizing this intelligence. So for me, the operation would have commenced upon our arrival at CHC depot.
May I suggest that it has to be before, because, firstly, as to who turns up to follow up on the information is a decision that must be taken.
Yes.
And that decision must be based on a purpose,
Yes.
right? And that is the start of the operation. It can't be when you all arrive and then you say the operation commences. That's not how you run operations. I would like to believe that even in the PCI, when you decide to move from your offices to a particular place in pursuit of something or intelligence received, you are already in an operation. Do you have a difficulty with that proposition?
No, I agree with you.
Okay. Now, accepting then that this is what happened here, you are the most senior.
Yes.
Am I correct at the time?
That's correct.
You are in charge of this, and I'll put it in inverts, if you are more comfortable, quote-unquote operation.
Yes.
Who decides the team to carry out this operation?
In this instance, it was myself.
It was you.
Yes.
Now, so you decided to involve Warrant Officer Mpangazo. Do you say that decision was already made for you?
That decision was made already by Captain Duma.
Did you have any power to override it?
If I wanted to, yes, they would have been.
Okay. And then who's the next member of your team?
It was at that stage Warrant Officer Sibia.
And that was your choice. He was your choice.
Yes, he was.
Was he also chosen by, and I say chosen in inverts, by Captain Duma, or was that your personal choice?
That was my choice, Commissioner.
And on what basis was that? Why did you decide on him that he's the best person suited for this operation?
Okay. If my memory serves me correctly, when Pangase called me, when I called Pangase and he had informed me that Duma had already spoken to him,
Yes.
at that stage we knew we were going to operationalize this. And Pangase was at that stage going around the office checking who's around. So I'm not sure what he had said to me. I'm not sure, I can't really recall, but I asked him, check if KG is there, KG Sibia. Just for the purpose of, manpower, and we have our colleagues that somehow we tend to choose. Obviously, if there's 10 members and you only require 3, I'm just saying, you will choose those that you have worked with before, that you've got a good understanding with. So there wasn't that much thought behind it, but just put somebody that you normally work with and you've got a good understanding with.
And also, it wasn't made on the basis that you appreciated this is a potential drug bust, that, do you say it's Warrant Officer Sibia? What?
Yes.
Warrant Officer Sibia potentially brings some expertise in that regard. That is not the basis of your decision?
No.
You just thought of a name and you decided he'll join?
He's competent enough, although he was not a fundi in drug cases, he's a detective.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you know you're going to the depot, which is around the harbor area. Earlier, in response, I think, to a question posed by the chair, you made reference to joint operations, and you spoke of the involvement of SARS.
Yes.
Did you at that time consider this to be potentially a joint operation or not?
No, not at all at that stage, Commissioner. No.
At that stage, you didn't?
No.
Okay. So if it wasn't a joint operation, then it was a pure DPCI operation?
Yes, and DPCI and crime intelligence.
And crime intelligence, yes, your source. Did it at any juncture become a joint operation in your understanding?
We
And if so, under what circumstances?
Okay, I'm using the term loosely joint operation, but whilst on the scene, we requested assistance from border police. So I don't know whether technically we can define it. I don't think it's a joint operation because they were not briefed, they were not expecting to be of assistance to us. So I wouldn't call it a joint operation.
So it really was never a joint
No,
operation?
it was not.
I would like you to jump to your paragraph 18. And there is a statement you make at paragraph 18 that I want to make sure I don't misunderstand. You see, the paragraph that starts upon inspection of one of the bags, okay?
Yes,
The third sentence in that paragraph reads, there were other border police-cargo operations team unit,
yeah.
inspection unit, uniform members at the depot that were inspecting other containers. Do you see that?
Yes, that's correct.
Were these people, I'm trying to understand why you make the statement here.
Yeah.
Were they part of your operation, or you are just mentioning police teams that were at the depot doing their own jobs, inspecting other containers? I'm not sure I understand that statement.
Okay, but I just wanted to describe how did the border police come about to assist or to convey exhibits, these drugs to the police station, and it was upon my request.
So they were part of your operation?
Eventually, they were part of it after me requesting assistance, more especially in terms of transporting exhibits from point A to point B.
Now, if we go to CJC 268, perhaps maybe I'm slow in understanding. At page 801 of that exhibit, perhaps let's start at 800, at point 4 at the bottom. So I start the point at the beginning. The container was properly closed and locked, the seal intact. The seal was broken and the container was opened in the presence of supervisor of the warehouse. I take it that is Ms. Pile.
Yes.
Customs official Ntutuko Kuzwayo. You see that?
Yes, I see that.
ORS members, Sergeant Mkize and Sergeant Govender, and 27 black canvas bags were observed placed right at the end of the something commodity, just behind the container doors.
Cargo.
Cargo commodity, thank you, Chair. Cargo/commodity. You see that?
Yes, I see that, Commissioner.
The people listed here, did they just happen to be around, or were they part of this particular operation? Because when I read the investigation diary, it sounds like they were part of your operation and officially there to witness the breaking of the seal. And here in your statement you say that they were inspecting other containers. So I'm trying, are they here by chance? Are they here as part of an operation? Where do we land?
You know, Commissioners, if memory serves me correctly, they were not present when the actual container was placed, when the photos were taken of it, the lock being cut open. According to my memory of that day, they were not present for that. They were not present for that. It's only after us discovering this 27 bags that it piqued interest around the warehouse, and I think even they walked towards the area, and that's how it came about that I asked for assistance.
So Warrant Officer Mpangase is wholly wrong in what he has recorded in this investigation diary.
I stand to be corrected, but my memory tells me that the border police guys just came a short while after discovering the narcotics, the black canvas bags.